on the ball, he wants to throw it, and he wants to throw it over the top of you. Jason McCourty, one of the team's defensive backs of the Patriots, said, look, he can be rolling to his right, and he'll whip that ball cross body left. Vice versa, go on the other side. You have to be aware he throws it with ridiculous velocity. McCourty also noted how he's evolved, Mahomes has, in the pocket. He said basically, look, he's seen a lot of defenses now, how teams have planned for him, and he understands it even better, which is why they feel like he's a hell of a lot better of a player now than he was in Week 6.
Well, is he the next Aaron Rodgers? I don't know about that, but Aaron Rodgers never threw 50 touchdowns in a single season. Patrick Mahomes did it this year. These are MVP-type numbers.
Going on.
We won't find out about the MVP until the day before the Super Bowl. We'll find out if he's going to the Super Bowl in 5 days from right now. Speaking of Super Bowl, I got two former champions right here with me. Sean O'Hara with a ring, Reggie Wayne with a ring. Not breaking them out until Super Bowl week. I respect that.
It's in the bag.
Okay, all right.
Safe place.
This matchup, fellas.
Yes.
Bill Belichick is the master of taking away your best weapon. The thing about Kansas City is their best weapon catches the snap on every play of the game. So you can't take out Mahomes out of the game. Where else should they focus?
Well, you know what? You better watch number 10, Tyreek Hill. I call him the versatile child. You know why? Because he can beat you in so many different ways. One thing about it, you mentioned Coach Belichick, he likes to take out the best guy.
Yeah.
That's okay, because Tyreek Hill, we can give him to him on the sweep. We can give him to him in bubble screens, as you see right here. If you want to
it's not just deep downfield.
If you want to watch him, we can get the ball to him ASAP, and he can take it to the house. He is going deep right now. He has so many different ways that he can torch your defense. Whenever you want to key on him, they'll find another way to get him the ball. And I didn't even bring up the possibility of him returning the punts. It's so many different areas that he can hurt you, so you better find out where he is and lock in on him.
And they'll move him around, put him in the backfield. So y'all co-sign on you with that one. Take away Tyreek. He's a burner. I kind of have flashbacks of Belichick against the Giants, Super Bowl 46, right? And he's saying, don't let them beat us with Cruz and Nix. Make them throw it to Manningham, right? He said that on the sideline to the defense, and what did Eli do? He made the big throw to Manningham. So it's going to be that same concept. Take away Tyreek, make a beat it with someone else. Maybe it's Kelsey, maybe it's the running backs. But I think defensively, they're trying to take the big play away. They gave up 6 big plays in Week 6 in that game. 2 of them were on the run, 4 of them against the pass. But this is the other thing they got to take away. They got to take away Mahomes outside of the pocket. He's one of the best outside the pocket throwers this season. When you look at some of the stats, they have 14 touchdowns, Scott, was the most in the NFL outside the pocket. That's what you've got to eliminate. That big touchdown throw to tie the game was him extending the play, getting outside the pocket, finding a window. The touchdown throw up the sideline to Kareem Hunt, that was him extending the play. Here we see the touchdown right here to Tyreek. That was because he bought time. So how do they get pressure on Mahomes, but yet keep him in the pocket? Don't let him get outside where all of a sudden now your secondary can be exposed. You can create those big throwing lanes.
You said giving up big plays, right?
Yes.
The New England, that's advantage Chiefs. Chiefs were second in the league in creating big plays, a pass of 20 or more yards, a run of 10 or more yards. Patriots defense, bottom 10 in the league in giving up big plays.
It's our time. This day is our day. This moment is our moment. Our fans, our dome, our home, our team.
Breeze under center, pitches out to the left to Kamara, has Armstead in front, shakes the first tackler, across the goal line, Alvin Kamara, touchdown!
First down and goal, gives to Gurley, bounces it right side, 10, 5, corner, Gurley pylon, Gurley touchdown!
Breeze from the shotgun, drops back, has time, throws to his right, that ball's caught, Kamara's gonna walk into the end zone, Alvin Kamara from the 16-yard line.
Goff sets in the pocket and throws right side, end zone, shoot your arrows! Brandon Cooks with the touchdown!
Alvin Kamara's gonna walk in, Alvin Kamara walks into the end zone, his third one of the day, and the Saints take a 34-14 lead here in the Superdome.
Goff has the snap, he pulls it down, now swings it left, the catch in space, Malcolm Brown, touchdown! And they trim the deficit to 35-24.
Here come the Rams, here they come.
Goff throws left side, Kupp in space, the 30 down the left sideline, Cooper Kupp the 10, Cooper Kupp the touchdown! As they look to complete the comeback. 35-33, inside of 10 minutes to go at the Superdome in the fourth quarter.
Breeze drops back, throws down the slot. Mike Thomas in stride. He's to the 30. He's to the 20. To the 10. Touchdown. Mike Thomas, 72 yards. And the Saints strike a hole in the hearts of the Rams in the 4. Go have a party, New Orleans. The Saints are going to hold on and take this one from the Rams 45-35.
All right, I'm fired up. Can't wait for this rematch, and I'm sure the Rams are also looking forward to getting a second crack at these guys. Drew Brees, who matched his season high with 4 passing touchdowns in that game. The O-line, who didn't allow a single sack in that game. Alvin Kamara, who finished with 116 scrimmage yards. Rams players talked after the game about how much trouble they had tackling him. They also had trouble with this guy, Michael Thomas, who set a franchise record with 211 receiving yards.
Is this all in one game?
And the guy that you're hearing
is this all
celebrating
in one game?
all of that.
Come on, man. Do we even need to play the game? Let's just go ahead and go home. Let us go to the Super Bowl, man. It's already over, man. It's over.
We saw last week with the Saints and the Eagles how differently games can play out.
Yeah.
Obviously, Michael Thomas in that last number, the 211 yards, I would imagine that that's where the Rams kind of start in terms of trying to ensure that this game turns out differently. How do they go about doing that?
100%. You have to take away the Saints' number 1 receiver, which is Michael Thomas. He's done a great job all season long at just being that downfield threat for Drew Brees and for this offense. He set a single game record with 211 yards off of 12 catches that game. So you have to get into his face. You have to make it ugly for him. I think the same approach that the Cowboys took, they made it ugly for Drew. They contested every pass. I think the Rams will have Aqib Talib follow him around because I think Aqib can affect him with his height, with his long arms. And then most definitely, there's going to be a lot of trash talking.
We saw it last week with Amari Cooper a little bit. They tried to get in his head, it seemed, and that spilled over into the postgame. So certainly something was going on there.
And they did. They frustrated him a little bit. They held him to 6 catches for 65 yards. If you can hold Mike Thomas to 65 yards, I think that's a win for the Rams for sure. I think it's going to be easier. It's easier said than done because this is not the Dallas Cowboys. The Saints offense has a ton of weapons on it. They can hurt you a lot of different ways. Kamara is a threat in the run game and in the pass game. He's kind of become that second receiver for them. He's kind of become that Robin to Batman of Michael Thomas. So it's going to be tough for the Rams. They're going to have to rely on getting a lot of pressure on Drew Brees. That's the way that you want to have success against him.
How did they do that? Because they obviously tried last time. No sacks.
Yeah.
How do they change it up this time?
Well,
do they have the people to do that?
They have the people to do that. And the Saints have done a great job all season long at protecting Drew and not allowing teams to get pressure on him. I think he's the least sacked quarterback in the NFL. But you see this last game against the Philadelphia Eagles, they did a great job of getting pressure on him. The Cowboys did a great job of getting pressure on him. You have to get Drew off his spot because if you do not get Drew off his spot, if you do not make him uncomfortable and he has time to throw that football in their stadium with that crowd behind him, it's going to be a long day for him.
He is, as you mentioned, the least sacked quarterback of the year. Played in 16 games because he sat out week 17. He's been sacked 19 times.
Yeah.
Whew. So that pressure won't be easy to come by for LA, though he is 40 now.
He is 40.
As of today, so maybe.
But
kidding.
You see that other picture of him on the right?
Yeah, so this is their nod, the Saints nod to that 10-year challenge.
Yeah.
That's him 13 years ago on the left.
That's a baby picture on the right.
When he joined the Saints.
Oh, no, that's him now. Sorry. That's a baby picture of him on the left, and that's him now on the right.
Yes, that's him now on the right, according to the Saints. All right, Nick Foles has a real goat named after him in a New England zoo. Did you know that? That was part of a Super Bowl bet from last season. The first time Foles took the Eagles on an end-of-season ride was last year. He did it again this year. Probably won't be back to do it again next year, though. Doug Peterson saying this today about his quarterback situation.
Yes, Carson is the quarterback going forward. And in Nick's case, listen, we'd love to have everybody back throughout the roster. But as I've said many, many times, it's not about one guy. It's about the team, and we're going to do what's best for the team.
We would love to keep Nick Foles. I mean, you talk about a guy who we drafted here and we've grown incredibly close with. I mean, I don't know a team that wouldn't want to have Nick Foles on their roster.
So what does all of this mean for the future? Mike Garafolo was in Philadelphia yesterday, had a chance to talk to Nick Foles. How do you see this going?
I see Nick Foles with another team for the 2019 season as a starter. Now, is it a bridge starter? Is it a long-term starter with some security? All that stuff is going to be settled going forward here. And we're going to see how the Eagles handle it. Do they really want to do the pick up the option, then he opts out, and then they tag him, whatever. You know, Howie Roseman today, in talking to the media, did say that they want to take care of players who take care of them, but also want to make the best decisions for the team going forward. Now, I've been asked multiple times today, could they possibly keep Wentz and Foles? Yeah, it's possible that they could keep both, and you look at the salary numbers as they stand right now, maybe that makes sense, but Carson Wentz is now eligible for a contract extension, and Howie Roseman did say today that they have no concerns over his injury history, believe he's a 19-game starter. That's 16 in the regular season and 3 in the postseason, so this is potentially going to be a contract extension offseason for Carson Wentz. Then, in that case, not enough money to go around for both. I do see Foles elsewhere, maybe Jacksonville, Washington, some of these other teams. They're going to need a quarterback.
You mentioned the salary numbers. What is that right now for Nick Foles? If they did pick up that option, the option is what?
It's $20 million, but then if he opts out and they franchise tag him, now it jumps